Red Lanterns number 16, written by Peter Milligan, art by Andre Guinaldo. This is the final part of the Rise of the Third Army for this particular book. And last issue we left off with the Manhunters being awoken by Atrocitus and them seemingly killing him. But it turns out it was just kind of like a light flesh wound sort of thing. So he's battling against the Manhunters, and he's like, yep, they're going to try to kill me, but I need to use them in order to fight the Third Army, so got to figure out what I'm supposed to do. And as he looks through the crowd, he sees the Alpha Manhunter giving commands, and he's like, okay, if I go and get him, it will cause the rest of them to not know what to do because they need to be given orders. So he immediately just leaps through the crowd, grabs the Alpha Manhunter, and starts tearing it to shreds. And as all the other Manhunters stand around, he's like, hey, I've killed your leader, and now I am your leader, so listen to me. And then we cut back to Earth, where Rancor and Bleeze are attacking Rancor's, he calls him Rage Maker. It's Baxter, the guy who killed his grandfather. And he's about to kill him, and Bleeze is like, well, hold on. You can make him suffer more if you don't kill him. And Bleeze cuts open his abdomen and spits her, like, I don't know, napalm blood. Somehow her saliva is also napalm blood inside the wound. And he's like, see, we're just going to make him boil in agony for a few years. It's not enough to kill him, but he'll be in intense pain for the rest of his life. And Rancor's like, this isn't about me enjoying stuff. This is about justice. This is about vengeance. What does the matter with you, please? I heard you talking to the Star Sapphires back like 3 issues ago. I know that you're not all that you crack up to be. And so he takes a construct knife and just throws it into Baxter's heart. And then the construct knife transforms into a construct of his grandfather, chewing him out for being such a disappointment, for just killing the guy outright. And Rancor's like, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be dead, Grandpa. So cutting back to Atrocitus, he's killed a whole bunch of small little critters on Ryut in order to cause blood magic that allows him to control the Manhunters via just having like a blood of X on their foreheads. And so he uses his weird telepathy powers and it's like, all right, all of you, you're going to Oa and you're going to attack them. It's all part of my plan, my calm, cool, collected plan. And then the Alpha one steps up and he's just like, calm, cool, and collective. Forgive me, Master, but that doesn't sound like rage. And he's like, shut up. I know it's not. I hate that I'm doing this, but I gotta do it in order to save the universe. And he collapses briefly, and his ring's like, hey, you still don't have a lot of like power. The battery's still messed up. And he's like, what is going on that the battery's still messed up? I told him to fix that. And so then we cut back to Yzmal, where, I forget his name, Ratchet, I believe it is. Yes, Ratchet is currently digging down into the planet because he's like, I had this theory about like global anemia a few issues ago, but that was stupid. In actuality, I'm betting that the planet is sucking up the energy of the lantern. So he digs down inside. He comes across a cave, and inside are the inversions back from, I think, the 0 issue that we saw last issue as well. And they're like, hi, I'm one of the inversions. We were friends with Atrocitus, and then he betrayed us. And Ratchet's like, yes, I am well aware. So, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, well, we've got a plan, and we're going to come back, and we're going to kill him. But we're not dealing with that yet. So then we cut back to Earth. The Construct attacks Rancor, and Bleeze pulls him out of it as it disintegrates. And she's like, hey, I wasn't your real grandfather. That was your guilty conscience. You turned it into a construct. And he's just like, guilty? I'm not guilty. I literally killed that guy. He's like, yeah, well, maybe the Red Lantern side of you thinks that you should have made him suffer. Like, you've got a battling Red Lantern side and a human side. And you're not quite either. Anyway, what you do have is the ability to make constructs. And I could really, really go for that. And she, like, sidles up next to him and then tries to take a few drops of his blood, which she believes will give her the ability to make constructs. And when he's like, whoa, hold on, you're not getting my constructs, lady. She's like, oh, really? Don't you like how sexy I look? And he, like, freezes for a second as she, like, goes after him. And he just runs away. He's just like, no, I have to protect my virginity. So he flies away. And Bleeze is like, well, we could have been lovers, possibly even more. But now you've made an enemy for life. So then we cut to Oa. The Manhunters are arriving, and they're like, oh, hey, Manhunters, we haven't seen them in a while. Maybe they could help us beat the Green Lanterns in this event. And then, oopsie, they're here to destroy. So Oa starts firing off a bunch of guns. But it turns out that's only like most of the Manhunters. A smaller subsection has gone with Atrocitus to Malthus, which is the homeworld of the Guardians. And they're deep inside the planet, and they're looking for something. And as they come across it, it's this big blue glowing box of light. And all of a sudden a face pops out of it. And it's like, oh, hey, this thing's alive. But then a bunch of faces pop out of it. And it's like, no, no, no. These are just faces from the past. These are old, like, things that were imprisoned in here. This is a dead planet. But then the face of Krona shows up, and it's like, hey, Atrocitus, it's me, Krona. I'm the one who programmed the Manhunters. And Atrocitus is like, say what? And that's where we leave off. Yes, this is technically a tie-in to the Third Army, but, like, unlike the previous, I think the issue before last and the issue before that, those issues felt really strongly tied in. This feels more like, okay, we played the game, we did what we needed to do, and we got the Manhunters to Oa as is necessary for the plot to progress, but now we're just going to do our own thing. It's not bad, but to label it as a tie-in, especially the final tie-in to Rise of the Third Army, it's a little weak. It's not quite what I would say it should be. But it is a good story just in general. It seems mostly, though, like it's going to be set up for what the Red Lanterns are doing moving forward. We got the inversions going on. We got Bleeze versus Rancor. We got Rancor's own personal crap. We're just setting up that stuff, and honestly, the events really don't matter that much to this. So overall, I'm going to give this one I'll give it a 7. It's just a nice middle of the road, still pretty good. Nothing that wrong with it sort of read. So check it out if you're interested.